Hi, I'm Jack Smith, Content Manager with CFE Media. With this year's System Integrator of the Year Award winner, Malisko Engineering. Award winner, Malisko Engineering and Nancy Lang, co-founder and chief operating officer. Matt Scott, lead and director of mentorship of Malisko Engineering. And Stephen Snavely. Again, congratulations on the award.
Thank you very much.
Like Nancy, could you talk about what kind of recognition this means to you and your team?
Oh, it's a great honor to win this award. We have an amazing team at Malisko, but something like this is a recognition for outside of our peers to be recognized with such an award like this. And internally, with all the work that we do to prepare ourselves for the submission, it basically brought us all together. Every one of us here helped with the submission, as well as the people that aren't here to represent us, and it brings us up a level every time we are competing against something like this. So it's a great honor.
Matt, how does Malisko go about getting client buy-in for your front-end engineering design?
Well, for front-end engineering, you have to let the customer know how important it is to really have a well thought out project plan. I think a lot of times people are thinking more budget minded, they're thinking more end goal minded. However, with a real thorough front-end engineering effort, can get you a lot better success, a lot better percentage of success in the end. So it's really just asking good questions, kind of building a roadmap that kind of shows how that front-end engineering is going to help in the end. So it's just preparation is key for sure.
Stephen, could you talk about the IT-OT convergence and end users getting it? What is Malisko doing to help ease the IT-OT convergence anxieties?
Sure. So IT and OT convergence is a difficult thing. Different clients, different customers have different ways of attacking it. It's a difficult thing between IT and OT. We find ourselves being that moderator, the in-between guy, and we can speak both languages. We have skill set in both IT as well as OT, and we're able to kind of see both ends of the table and show the benefits of working together. Working on projects and to get IT buy-in early and making sure that they're involved, and explain to the OT folks, people on the floor, the benefits of getting them involved early. And it's been pretty successful for us. Sometimes, depending on clients, though, it's challenging.
Well, you mentioned moderator as a good example of the role of the system integrator. I haven't heard it put that way, but I think I'm going to use that. And okay, so what are some of the effective ways your customers are using IoT technology in manufacturing? Could you elaborate on that?
Sure. So we start off with IoT. The biggest important thing is obviously a solid network. Making sure you have a solid infrastructure in place before you start to tackle the IoT initiative. And IoT, just like IoT, is a hard thing to understand. What is it? Where is it involved with? What we focus is more of the edge. So it's at the switch layer. It's putting in the abilities to gather data from the switch layer instead of relying on a server and the typical ways that you gather data. Having sensors that are out in the field, talking back to the smart switches, and then allowing that data to be pushed up.
And then what are you going to do with that data?
And that's the most challenging part is before it used to be big data, everybody was just collect as much as I can and don't really do anything on it. Now it's be smart on what you collect. Get that information that's really valuable, to collect, to make sure that it's something that people can make informed decisions on.
Nancy.
Well, a lot of it is we have to learn and listen what our clients want to improve in their processes. And Steve's exactly right. We can gather all the data, and it's basically learning to see what they want to see with that data and how they want to improve it. So.
Sounds good. So another question for you.
Mhm.
Looking at the business reports, manufacturing gave us some kind of dismal outlooks. How's that going to affect Malisko? And second part, how do you think that that will affect system integrators in general moving forward to 2020 and beyond?
Well, I think, yes, I do listen to those reports. I go to all the CSIA conferences, and yeah, sometimes they are painting a dismal picture of the smaller integrator not being around in 4 to 5 years from now. But I do think that Malisko is really trying to make an effort to always better ourselves and provide as much value outside of the typical, what they think of as an SI can do. I do believe that we're evolving and learning different processes, educating ourselves with the latest and greatest classes and in technology, hiring younger, newer staff members that can bring a different perspective on value added. So I think that Malisko's got a bright future, and I think that, I think that we are ready to survive for another 25 years plus.
That's a good answer. Matt, how are you working with your clients to move forward in their journey toward digital transformation?
Well, it's, again, I think a lot of it has to do with letting them know how their day-to-day life's gonna change in their facility, what kind of changes they can expect. It's not something you can run at headstrong. There's a big race to kind of complete this journey. It's, everybody knows that's somewhere they need to get, but I think there's still a lot of question about how to get there properly. So I think it's really, whether it's staging a project. I mean, it can be a huge effort. I mean, like you said earlier, you start at the backbone, the network, and you got to move up, but you have to start there. Sometimes people want to get to the end so fast, and then by the time you put all those elements together, you're talking about years, of a project. You're talking about lots of money. So I think it's presenting again the map, how to get there, and then also kind of for your business, what's it actually going to do for you?
You got to do it on purpose.
Yeah. We need to talk about what you're going to see on the other end. We need to know that it's not just a race to get there. Everybody feels that way, but we need to move towards it promptly. But it takes planning, and again, we need go back to Sinead with the moderator role. I mean, I think that sets us apart. We've got people on staff that are great at that, and we want to take our time and get to know, what's going to be successful. We want to define that and reach it.
So how engaged are your customers on this journey, do you feel?
It can be tough. It can be tough to get them thinking. Because they have to be a part of it, right? They have to be engaged in it, and it's hard. I mean, we can go in. I mean, we know at a certain level the things that we can do that'll make them happy, but you got to get to know their business, and they need to help you get there. So we want to be part of the team. It's really a team thing, and so I'm not going to say it's easy. It's definitely hard, and it can be a bit like pulling teeth sometimes. But I think it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long to prove it when you get in a room and you're actually able to have the discussion. When you're able to ask the questions, well, what is it you want? And let's talk about how we're going to get there. So.
I'm sorry, I just want to interject with what you had to say. A lot of it is when we have a client that we have been successful at, they are our biggest cheerleaders. Like, we started doing some of the case studies on through LinkedIn and through our Facebook, and we never mention a client's name, but we are touting those success stories. And if they can see some of that and see what we've done with other clients, they're more apt to kind of contact us and talk about it.
Matt, I'm going to pick on you again because of your role as Director of Mentorship. Malisko faces the same workforce development challenges as others in the manufacturing sector. talk about your programs to meet this challenge, and also talk about young people entering the industry. What are their expectations, and how can system integrators have greater successes in attracting and retaining these workers?
Yeah, I'll start with the young workforce, just because we've had great success with our younger employees. I mean, I think it's common for that conversation to not have that tone to it. It really is, and it is different, but I found nothing but if you're, you know, they want to know a path. You know, younger people want to know their path to success, their path to moving up in the company. I mean, it's not quite as, you know, a mentality, you know, maybe years ago was just like, if I do a good job, I'll, you know, I just want to do good work and I'll get paid well and we can do well. There's more expectation of defining what the ladder is, maybe, but the innovation, the way of thinking, I mean, it's great. I mean, they're reactive, they're you know, smart, talented. I mean, I love the young part of our workforce. Yeah, it's excellent. And again, you know, part of it is defining roles, defining paths. That's kind of a big thing for us. But also just, I think although we're growing always and getting larger, I think maintaining a personal touch in the culture of the company is really important. I feel like I mean, the role that I have as director of mentorship it's not a role that you see in many companies. And it was defined because you know, I kind of had a saying. It was we've got a great thing here. Don't mess it up. You know, these you know, the attention to detail, the quality. That we were all constantly checking each other's quality. And we like it. We have fun with it. I mean, we can be mean about it sometimes, and we can be rough with each other. You know, like we don't let people get away with junky work. You know, I see that. I mean, I think the younger kids thrive on that. They want to know, you know, what do you think's good? What do you think's bad? So again, I have to go back to the culture as part of what I've just by talking to the younger group and asking them what it is they like. It's really, you know, just the way we run our business with attention to detail, you know.
And I would say, in addition to that, we have a full-time HR person for a small company like that. She is very dedicated to making sure our onboarding program is well, and she continues to check in with everybody. And I do think, as Matt says, we do talk a lot amongst each other. It's not just an annual review per se. It could be a project review. After every project, and we give the feedback to everybody, and so that they know what they did right, what we could have done better, and it's a constant feedback. And the younger staff really want that. They don't want just that once a year bonus at the end, and they want some constant feedback. And I think that you know, we engage them more that way.
Thank you.
I think feedback is a key word for sure. You know?
Well, Nancy Lang and Matt Scott and Stephen Schnabely, thank you for being with us today. And again, Let's Go Engineering, congratulations on the System Integrator of the Year award.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a great honor.